Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, another movie review, this time for the remake of Speak No Evil. Now I reviewed the original film a little bit a while back, and I did say in that video I was planning to get to the remake, and well, here I am finally getting to the remake. In terms of the original, it's been a while since I've seen that review. I think I gave it like 3 out of 4 stars. I remember liking the movie, not loving the movie, but at the same time, the movie did have a lot of praise, so in a way I do feel like the film was kind of overrated by critics. Watching it, I'd still like it, but I was like, this isn't the great or like masterpiece film I was led to believe. It's good, but it's not like mind-blowing. In terms of this remake, watching this remake, I gotta say, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 4. I actually enjoyed it slightly more than the original. Neither film is great, neither film is a masterpiece, but if I had to watch one again, I would watch this before the original. But like I said, neither film is bad. In terms of this remake, it's really pretty much the same movie for most of it. Other than the third act, it's really the same movie. For the majority of it, it's the same exact film with acting from the new actors in this. You got Mackenzie Davis, who is in Blade Runner 2049. She was also in Terminator Dark Fate. She's a good actress. I like her. She's good in this as the wife who you found out was like sex texting or whatever one time with another man behind her husband's back, and that's the reason they're having some turmoil in their marriage. But they're trying to work through it, and she's apologized like 1,000 times, and you can see that she is really trying to make things better with her husband, that both of them do kind of want to make their marriage better since then or whatever, and it's been hard for them to get over and like make it through this or whatever, make it through that incident. They didn't have this in the original. In the original, I believe the characters were just more or less just like a wimpy couple. Here, the characters are stronger in terms of like the way they're written. There's more to them, and I know it's the point is that they are a wimpy couple in the original, but at the same time, they still have that here. But at the same time, they're still written to be stronger characters, which is just more entertaining. They're still able to be manipulated, but the wife is written here to be stronger than what she was in the original. The wife is written to be the smarter one between her and the husband, whereas the husband is just kind of the more docile one. You get the idea that he's kind of a cuck, kind of like a wimpy man or whatever. And it's kind of a commentary on like the whole thing of like wimpy masculinity or whatever. And James McAvoy's character, you could say, is kind of a commentary on the over-the-top masculinity, although they don't really go into that aspect really. But you do get it from Scott McNairy's character, who's the husband, who he does a good job in the film acting-wise. He's playing like this wimpy cuck type husband or whatever. He just kind of whines a lot. But you understand why he would be upset because of what happened in their marriage, but at the same time, the way he is manipulated by James McAvoy's character or whatever, you are thinking this guy's kind of stupid. They make Mackenzie Davis the smarter one. In the original, the wife did start to wise up a little bit after a while, but in this one, I got the idea that Mackenzie Davis's character was smarter than the wife who was in the original. She wises up a lot quicker. Like even when they're talking about going or whatever and visiting James McAvoy and his wife or whatever, she's like, why would we go stay with the people we don't even barely know? And Scott McNairy's like, okay, it's a stupid idea, because he was the one that wanted to do it, because they met James McAvoy and his wife or whatever randomly while they were vacationing or hanging out or whatever. And she's her feeling guilty for what she did, you know, talking to the dude or whatever. She's like, okay, we'll go do it. Why not? Let's have some fun. So you get the idea of why they would do it in this situation of their marriages and everything. And they go there, and of course it's just like the original, pretty much the same thing. James McAvoy does all these like microaggressions at the couple to try to see if he can push them to the point where they'll be brutally honest and just leave and be like, you're annoying the fuck out of us, and they'll get out of there. And if they leave, it's assumed that, well, they'll let them live, you know. And if they did leave or whatever, they could always say, you know, they could always cover it up because they never had to kill them, so they could always just say, well, they just didn't enjoy our hospitality or whatever. Yeah, our methods or ways may be a little different, but it's whatever. So they could always cover it up if they did leave. But they got the kid there this time, the son or whatever, just like that in the original, who's not really their son, that they took from another couple that they killed who evidently didn't leave. And in this one, the wife starts, like I said, Mackenzie Davis' character starts to wise up. And the kid who plays Ant in this one, the kid who can't talk, he has much more to do here. Like, he's much more proactive in the sense that he's trying to, like, warn the daughter and everything about what the fuck's going on and all that. He's trying to help. I like that. It gave you more character as well in this. And eventually he does take her out and show her, like, all these keepsakes and shit that they got from the other couples and all that, and they got a photo album where the couples that they kill or whatever are in. And Scott McNairy's character, like I said, he's really wimpy. Like at the end of the movie, when they do start this is when the third act is when everything changes from the original. In the original, the couple, they didn't even put up an effort, not even a fight. Like their daughter was literally just grabbed by like the third accomplice, who we really didn't know anything about in the original film. Here we learn a little bit more about him, that he's in on it with James McAvoy and his wife or whatever, just for the money, because he gets a cut of the percentage. They basically kill the couples, take their kid, cut the kid's tongue out, repeat over and over, and they get them to wire their funds to them and all that with a bunch of money, and they just keep doing it in a circle. And here you get more of an idea that the dude is in on it. He gets a cut of the percentage. In the original movie, the dude just kind of showed up out of nowhere, their third accomplice or whatever. Here it's better developed. It's better. They actually give more of an answer to who the fuck this dude is. But anyway. So, that third act, like I said, is when everything kind of changes. In the original one, the couple didn't even really fight back or anything. They just got captured, or they didn't even get captured. They just got put in the vehicle. They didn't even bother to do anything. Like when their daughter was abducted out of the bag by the third accomplice, like the mother didn't even bother to even try to do anything. Like she could have like grabbed the dude's wife or whatever and like held her and threatened to kill her if they didn't release their daughter or something. Like she didn't even do anything. So, and I get that, that's part of it, that the whole thing is that don't be a puss, is basically the message really here, and don't be just polite for the sake of being polite, stand up for yourself and get the fuck out of Dodge when things are looking, overly weird like they were in that original movie. And I get that's part of it, but at the same time, it's just not that entertaining to watch from an entertainment point of view, to watch a couple who does literally nothing to help themselves at the end and just literally begs to die. Like at the end when they just get stoned to death in a rock quarry, they don't even try to run off. They could have just like literally ran off into the woods in pitch black dark and hid and got away from these killers, and they don't even try. So it's just like, okay, it's hard to care when your characters are so pathetic. Here, the characters do fight back. Scott McNairy's character, of course, he is the more pathetic one, the more wimpy one of the two, between him and his wife, and that is one thing I did have a bit of a problem with. It did get a little annoying that he was so wimpy. Like he does try to help his family. Like he attacks one of the dudes, the third accomplice dude with the beard or whatever. He attacks him with a hammer and tries to take him out, but it's like a really pitiful attempt. He doesn't even barely swing and just gets knocked down and almost killed or whatever, and his wife has to save him by planting the hammer in the back of the dude's head. And then the woman who plays the wife in this, who's James McAvoy's wife or whatever, you get the idea that she was actually someone he probably abducted when she was a kid, and raised her and groomed her to be his wife, to take care of him, to be somebody he slept with and everything, and she has Stockholm syndrome or some shit. You get that implication. They don't go into it quite enough. I probably would have liked a little more information on that at the end, but you do get the idea that that's probably what happened, because after she gets killed, he starts talking about how he wants to do that with their daughter or whatever. Before the daughter stabs him with the needle that she kept that had I think it was ketamine or something like that in it, that was gonna knock her out so they could cut her tongue off, the tip end of it or whatever. And then they go over there to him, and the little boy Ant literally bashes the James McAvoy in the face, and he's like, "That's my boy," which I thought was hilarious. James McAvoy is great in this because it's some dark humor here, because he is so ridiculous at certain points that it does make you laugh. And James McAvoy just has that kind of charm to him when you're watching it. I did laugh at certain points. I got the song Cotton Eye Joe stuck in my head, because just like the original where the kids are dancing or whatever, and the dad keeps bothering Ant because he's like, "You're out of tune," and here he's James McAvoy's doing it, and just the way he plays it though is kind of funny. It's just, James McAvoy just has a certain funny charm to him, so he does a great job here. He is better acting wise, I think, and more fun to watch than the dude who played the dad in the original, who played it more straight. James McAvoy has a bit of an evil glint in his eye, a little bit of that evil charm in his eye. He gets beaten to death with a rock at the end or whatever, which I thought was kind of cool, by the Ant or whatever, the boy Ant, who obviously wanted revenge for his family that was killed and his tongue that was cut out. I do like the fact that even though the dad is kind of a wimp, and it is kind of annoying the way he doesn't put forth, he does put forth effort to try to help his family, to try to help them. He does. At the same time, he does it in such a wimpy way at certain points that's hey. It's you get the idea of why the wife may not be as attracted to him or happier in their marriage, because I'm okay with it. Dudes do not have to be overly masculine to try to compensate for stuff where they walk around I'm the biggest badass on the planet. You don't need to do that. That's ridiculous and stupid and childish. But it's also pathetic to be extremely wimpy to the point where you never stand up for yourself at all, hardly. That's also pathetic. And here he's kind of that, but at the same time though, when it gets in the shit at the end, he does try to help, and he does help at certain points. but at the same time, he does have these wimpy moments where it's like, like when they're on top of the roof or whatever, he like jumps down to get the ladder and he hurts his foot and to moves the ladder up so his family can get down. So he is helping his family. He's just kind of a wimpy man, but he is someone that tries, which I appreciated that he wasn't just like a total puss. But at the same time, he is a little bit too wimpy-fied at certain points. But they get down there, whatever, and they manage to get away because the little girl stabs James McAvoy with the needle with the, I believe, like I said, I believe it was ketamine or whatever to take him down. The ant kid like beats his brains out with a brick, and they're like driving off. And the little girl has the pet bunny rabbit or whatever, not pet bunny rabbit, but the stuffed bunny rabbit that is like a coping mechanism. They don't really go into it in this of why she really needs it or what's actually wrong with her. Maybe they should have like brought it up that it was because of like the troubles in the marriage or something, you know, between the mom and dad, because it's like an anxiety thing. I don't know. I'm not even sure if they really brought it up why the hell she needed it in the original. But here she like passes it on to the boy ant because she doesn't need it anymore, and the camera like closes up on him where he's like crying or whatever after everything he's been through. You know, he's gonna be like traumatized by this shit forever for a long time, and that's when the movie ends. So overall, even though I get the idea of the original wanting to be like more of a cautionary tale about get the fuck out when you she shit going sideways, you know, you're getting warning signs. At the same time, it's just not as entertaining as a movie as this one. While this may be more of a conventional third act where the couple and the family get away, at the same time, the characters are more interesting here and they're more entertaining in the way that they're performed, and the action sequences at the end in the third act are fun. Overall, other than that third act that's different, most of this is kind of the same movie, just better acted, or at least more charm acted into it. I will say I think the woman who played the wife in the original, the evil wife, was better than the chick here. The chick in this one who plays the evil wife is just kind of okay, because you get the idea that she's also kind of a victim, even though she is in on it. You get the idea by the end that she is kind of a victim, because when she's on the roof and she's like got a chance to shoot him or whatever, the family, she hesitates. She doesn't seem like she wants to shoot. But the mom splits her brains out with like a brick or something in the back of the head and causes her to fall off the roof and die, which was cool. Yay, go mom. Mackenzie Davis kicks ass in this. But yeah, you do get the idea that she's kind of a victim, whereas in the original, the mom was just, the wife or whatever was just an evil bitch, just like the husband. Here you get the idea that she is kind of a victim of like Stockholm Syndrome or whatever, and it's more James McAvoy who's done everything and orchestrated all this shit. But overall, the third act is more entertaining, just from a film level. It's just more entertaining to watch, and it's just more entertaining to have characters who are willing to fight back, and then characters who are just like, okay, kill me now, what the? That's just not that interesting to watch. Even if you are trying to send a message or whatever, which I get it, at the same time, it doesn't mean it's entertaining as a movie. This is just more entertaining with this third act, and if it wasn't for this third act, I probably wouldn't like this film that much, because it would mostly just be the same damn movie. But overall, it's a 3.5 out of 4. This was pretty good. Didn't love it, but I liked it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.